Hi Cancers, it's Sonia of True Like I bring your October 2018 angel reading and energy forecast. And with Venus in retrograde, you're going to see some stirring up in the way of your career and how that impacts you in your personal growth. So before we get to it, just a little bit of maintenance. If you are interested in booking a reading with me, please reach out. The details to my website are below. That will tell you how to reach out and get in touch with me. My specific gifts give me the ability to accurately see, just like a psychic, where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. But I have a special gift as a guide where I'm able to see if you're not getting where you want to be, why that's happening, what's the obstacle, what you need to do. Ultimately, as well, if there's a better option that's trying to find you, which I feel is what's coming through very strongly, especially in the way of what you're trying to achieve in your own life. There's going to be guidance for that to put you on path to that. And as I do the reading, I can accurately see if you put a piece of the puzzle in, if you change something, if you should take another course of action or do something, I can tell you where that's going to take you quite accurately. So if you're interested, reach out. Additionally, if you want to learn how to work with your energy better and create a firm foundation so that, you got some more core confidence. You're not going to be allowing the world and outside situations to rock how you feel about yourself. Check out my Energy Foundations course. And the final piece is Facebook. If you would like more daily inspirational quotes or information, follow me there. All details will be in the links and provided in the description. There we go. So let's get to you this month, Cancer. What's going on in the way of energy? I'm going to be reading just for a moment because I want to touch on all the stuff that's happening in the stars. First is Venus retrograde. Now, Venus retrograde will be happening October 5th to November 15th. That's 40 days where Venus is going to appear moving backwards and really bringing about a review or revision on how we deal with our relationships, because Venus is all about relationships, sensuality, but also about all things beautiful. So this retrograde is going to really touch on our need for more privacy, personal space, and ultimately this is, it bridges into boundaries. On October 9th, we will be seeing a new moon in Libra, which is a new beginning. It's all going to be about equalizing, bringing harmony, more flow and synchronicity. And finally, just before Halloween, on October 24th, we see the full moon in Taurus, which is going to be all about being grounded, practical, and being in the material world, which would be a good thing if you're very energetically sensitive as we go into Halloween. And there's a cautioning against communication with spirits at this time. And it's not a negative thing. It's just understand that your past relatives and people who have lived a physical life can guide you based on where they've been, but just like I tell people, even if you're dealing with a real life person, go to somebody who can guide you to where you want to be, that they've had success in the things that you're seeking help from. So I always say, don't go to an accountant and ask for advice on being a rock star. So know the sources that you work with. That's why I work with angels. Angels respect your boundaries. They cannot work with you unless you've said so. So if you're having problems with people and boundaries and people not getting what you're saying and they're just like, oh, it's okay, don't worry. And you're like, I just said no. Don't think you're going to have a better time with spirit, okay? Like they're just like people. Like they can just kind of, oh, don't worry about it. It's like, well, I'm busy right now. Oh, don't worry, I'll just take 5 minutes of your time. Okay, so they're just touching on that and saying, don't get into it. So let's find out what's happening for you this month, Cancer. We're going to have a reading on Venus retrograde, how that's going to stir up your energy. We'll touch into your love life and all relationships, what you need to know there. Then we're going to touch on your career and finally personal growth. So what do you need to know? First card is going to be what's coming to you. Okay, this is the situation that's going to be dealt. Now, how you respond to it will matter. You can either deal with this in the way of an obstacle, which is an outside power struggle trying to control people and events, or you can deal with this in an opportunity and step into yourself and go, well, I'm not going to control that to make me feel secure and happy. Instead, I'm going to respond differently, tap into my own, vibration, my own sense of self, and work with spirit, work with the universe. Know that there's synchronicity that's around me. This is how you're going to step into that. You're going to use the second card to help you understand how to work with the opportunity in your real personal power. And then finally, if you do that, what's going to come out of this? Okay, so let's begin. Venus does bring about the past, okay? And it's about all the things that you haven't released, especially in the way of relationships, heartache, Maybe things didn't work out the way you expected them to, things that you didn't get a chance to say. It seems like all these things are coming up. It's like even my lips are tickling here. It's kind of like it's as though it was like on the tip of your tongue and you couldn't get it out. Whatever this is, you need to allow yourself to do healing work, okay? So this is what Venus is going to be stirring up for you. How you do that is to see that plans have worked out very well. Where have things worked out? Notice how things are more synchronized today than you thought they would be, and that things are going incredibly well. Don't get too caught up in the mental space of things either, is one of the things that's coming up there. So step into the opportunity that if you have some wise planning, and Venus is a very good time to review, revisit, and revise, then things will work out as expected. See where it's happened in the past as you go, and then step into doing that for yourself now. You'll have more luck with it. And that will bring you into allowing yourself to detach your emotional energy of your relationships from your career life so that you'll have more space. Okay? And you won't have to put up that hard shell and hide anymore. You'll be able to be more open, because in order for you to bridge into relationships, you have to understand that it's about vulnerability, right? And when you do that, interesting, my right hand's itching, just saying, you'll get a little bit more in the way of your career. So it's all linked. Starting with your relationships in your love life, things didn't work out the way you thought. You're trying to do it alone. It is not about doing things alone in a relationship. Yes, it means vulnerability. It means compromise. It means learning how to work with others. Yes. So that's going to be really on the plate. You're going to be challenged in that way this month. But you can really step in your opportunity with the Empress card. This is a higher arcana and a card of change. They are saying change the way you do things and the way that you act upon your plans. Make decisions and then take action. Don't wait for other people. Do your part. Know what you're responsible for. Creativity is rewarded, and luxurious and abundant resources will find you. Step into that. Be in action. Be creative. Find a new way of exploring this, right? And ultimately, you'll see a lot of activity and a lot of things that were stuck move forward. So this is a lot of relationships in the way of work, family life, and also your just overall personal your personal boundaries are going to be changing up. And right away, like, my hand keeps itching, and that makes sense because that leads into your career. Okay, it's linked in its own ways. So you've created boundaries around your relationships, and now that you're kind of making choices, decisions, taking action, well, it leads into some really good energy in your work life, which could upgrade the quality of your life, which could mean some really big promotions for some of you. So what's coming to you this month in career is that dreams are fulfilled. Hard work has led to great success. You're seeing beautiful things, but how do you take that and then bring it into this place where you're going to see your entire quality of life, your life elevate? Well, you're going to need to step into it with a very detailed plan and to work with others. It's literally being watched over by somebody very kind. So don't think that this is planning alone. Take guidance and advice. Oh, that makes sense. They're linking back to the spirit message there. Sometimes we ask a lot of questions and then we get overwhelmed, and this is why you're not being able to take action, because there's an overload of information that came in, and that makes sense. Because you're also getting spirit, and spirit's kind of like everyone's trying to help at once, and you're too open. Be specific, okay? If you need to learn how to clear your energy, be specific, ask the right questions. Asking the right questions is critical. Reach out. It can coach you and guide you on that. And know that, I do a lot of energy work or energy teaching in my readings to help people get to where they need to be in alignment to achieve what they need. So if you're interested, reach out. If not, use the resources that work for you. But watched over by somebody kind, make a detailed plan, you can accomplish this, okay? That does lead to the card of the world, right? Not just one area of your life upgrading, your world elevates. And it's an ending and a new beginning as you step into spiritual growth, meaning that you grow as a person because of this, right? We actually see a lot of change in the way of your life. When in your relationships, I'm just going to kind of backtrack a little, sorry, I digress, but in your relationships, the card of change came in the way the advice, how you do things, how you respond to when you're being challenged to work with others or trying to work alone, okay? And the way of your career, the change card comes up in the way of the outcome, okay? So it's kind of like in your relationships, change the way you're doing things. In your career, the kind of like if you've changed what you did in your relationships, that leads over and it'll upgrade because, all relationships even work. It'll upgrade the way, the quality of your life. And then we stop at the last message, and that's your personal growth. And the card of change comes from what is being dealt to you, which is how you create your life. This is the card of the Magician. This is about manifesting what you want, magically knowing things appear in your life. I feel like a lot of you understand this, have done laws of attraction, spiritual work, all of this, but you're not seeing the results, or you're not happy with the results, or, certain things that are getting wonky. They're like, we're going to touch on where you're manifesting your life very quickly and you're getting wonky, wonky results. How to clean that up is clearer decisions. So if you are getting too much spiritual information and too much, know your source. Go to the angels. They will only work with your free will. They only work with the greater good of all, but they work up mostly on your spiritual path and your life purpose. And some of you are like, but that's not getting me what I want down here. Trust me, if you make the changes that you need to in here before you take action, you will see results on the outside world as well. But you have to have patience, but you also got to be very clear on what you need and detox that doubt and worry. That will lead you to a wonderful new idea. Not allowing bumps to hinder your progress, meaning like as you kind of start and then you stop and you start and you stop. Clear up communication problems with others. You're going to be able to deliver the messages better, clearer, more precise, and ultimately get to where you need to be and start making progress instead of just being stuck. So if you do need some help, check out my Gumroad course. I really feel like that would help a lot of you. If not, follow your gut. Know what works for you. Okay, so if you like these messages, Cancers, I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to hear your feedback. So please like, comment, and share. If you'd like a personal reading or to find out about my Gumroad course for Energy Foundations or my Facebook page, all of the details are in the description below. So until we meet again in November, cheers for now, Cancer.